BRB right away. All right. We're doing predictions. We're doing predictions. All right. We're doing state of play predictions. State of play. This is going to be the first state of play of the year. Yeah, this is going to be the first state of play of the year. We should expect a bunch of stuff. We should expect some big news. There's stupid ass chat that's going off right now because people are still talking. There's a lot of stuff here that we should expect. One of the main things that we should expect, which we're gonna add to the list, we're gonna add a couple of definitive yeses and a couple of definitive nos. Okay, and like we're gonna start this off good. We're gonna make sure that this is fun and it makes sense. So now, this is how our state of play predictions is gonna go. First off, we're gonna do the free space. How do I do the free space again? Okay, the free space. So the free space, we are going to, let me move this over here. The free space is going to be Xenogears. Okay. Why is it going to be Xenogears? Xenogears is one of the coolest JRPGs of all time. It's a PS1 game. I can't. This is what I hate about this. I'm trying to zoom in more and more, and because it doesn't zoom right, it's whatever. So you're gonna have to just trust me on this, bro. So let's see, add items. Okay. So Xenogears just celebrated its 30th anniversary. It's a beautiful game. I want to actually play it. It's one of the most weirdest, I want to say weirdest, but it's like such a legendary JRPG on the PlayStation 1, and it has a huge development history because by the end of it, the game was so hard to translate because of the amount of religious text that the game is imbued with and the amount of translation that had to go into, that they had to learn much more. It was very complicated. There's a whole history with Xenogears, which I want to play because I like the music, I like the gameplay, and like there's one other game for the PlayStation 1 that I really wanted to play that I haven't played since I was a child, which is Legend of Legaia, but that's for another day. Anyways, let's start this state of play predictions. Now we're gonna start with an easy one, which is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Now you're like, Jesse, why is this one easy? Jesse, why is this easy? It is because the roster was leaked. What the fuck? Why did it save? The roster for Marvel Tokon was leaked. Now the leak of it is not the actual characters that's been leaked. You know, it has been the amount of characters that's going to be in it. Now, what does that mean? That means that normally in a fighting game, there is a big roster, or fighting games have an issue with, like, these days not having a lot of characters in their roster, and people like miss the old days where there used to be a lot of characters for their roster. But with season passes and battle passes and DLC, you usually start really low. We start with a small amount of characters and then it gains. I think Dragon Ball let's see, starting roster DBFZ. The base roster had very little. Mind you, it was 3-on-3. Look how little this is, bro. Look how few characters this was. This is 21. Is it 21 characters? It's 21 base characters for the base version of Dragon Ball FighterZ Z. And by the end of it, I'm pretty sure it more than double. How many characters are in DBFZ? Right now it's 44 to 45. It doubled by the end of its life. There's a new update coming soon, so you know, for it to have doubled it is crazy. It's been I think it's been 10 years, almost 11 years now since Dragon Ball FighterZ has come out. So let me see, it'll say it right here. It came out 2018. Oof, 6 years. It's been 6 years since Dragon Ball Fighters has released, and in 6 years they've added 20 something characters. So, but this is a Marvel Dokkan Fighting Souls is a 4v4, and because it's a 4v4, you're gonna have like a weird balance of characters. So starting at 20 is fine. And I think that's enough just enough variations. And then we're probably gonna get like, hey, the battle pass, the season pass is going to be 4 characters at a time. Who knows? But that's the safest bet, because we already know that was leaked that it's going to be 20 characters. So we're guaranteed a trailer. We're probably going to get a release date. We've been through 2 betas of this game. We're probably going to get a release date very soon. What's the other definitive thing that we can say that is actually happening here? I use Kotaku because IGN, we all know my history with IGN currently right now. Will we get a better trailer for will we get a better trailer for Resident Evil? I feel like it kind of Resident Evil might be a maybe. Let's put Requiem as safe trailer. So a finale trailer, basically, because the game comes out in like 2 weeks. So we'll add that. Requiem safe trailer. That's one of them. What other things can we say that's coming for PlayStation? What other ones that we feel like is possible that could be coming? Well, I had put that there was teases or something for Metal Gear, right? Metal Gear Solid. We'll put anything Metal Gear, because chances are we're getting volume 2 of the Metal Gear Solid collection, which might include Peace Walker, hopefully Metal Gear Solid 4, which, if you haven't seen my TikTok, has been blowing up about Metal Gear Solid 4's Platinum Trophy. If Metal Gear Solid 4 gets re-released, I'm making a declaration right now. If Metal Gear Solid 4 is on the Metal Gear collection volume 2, I will attempt the platinum again and live stream it. I will try my best again to do it. Will I succeed? I don't think so, but I will try, and we're going to see. We're definitely gonna check it out. Oops. Okay, we're gonna check it out. But that's the other one, Metal Gear Solid collection. Will we get any news for Naughty Dog? We might get that crappy Naughty Dog game, which is, let's look this up, the new Naughty Dog game. Intergalactic. It's called Intergalactic. Well, I think there was some development noises, some development problems with Intergalactic. It won't, even here it says it, that it won't make 2026 according to Neil Druckmann, right? I know it seems ridiculous that I'm using fucking Reddit. I don't like using Reddit for any kind of resources. So let's just, it won't make 2026. Let's be real people here, all right? See, VGC is, yeah. Naughty Dog's Intergalactic reportedly skipping the Game Awards and won't release next year. This is an article from November of last year, so it won't come this year, but at least they'll show us a trailer of the game. So we're gonna re-edit that. Let's re-edit this one. Let's re-edit it and say Intergalactic gameplay trailer. There we go. Intergalactic gameplay trailer. I am not a Naughty Dog aficionado anymore. I don't really like the company. I don't really like where they're going. I don't like I don't like what they've done to the Uncharted series. And I hate, personally, I don't like this almost anime revisionism. Well, I would say it's more like these old guys. Now, if you've seen my reaction to IGN's top 100 Xbox list, someone in the chat had said this is such a millennial list, and I feel like in this day and age, if your direct references or inspirations for anime in your video game is Cowboy Bebop, you haven't watched anime now in 30 years, and I feel like you should, like, there would be better references, that there would be other things that you can point to and be like, oh, maybe, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Cowboy Bebop. I'm just saying, just throwing the words out Cowboy Bebop, it's like bait. It's anime bait. It's for anybody who doesn't watch anime, who hasn't watched anime in 30 years, to be like, I remember that. Yeah, remember you love that. Yeah. It's not enough. It's not enough. And the direction that company is going, I'm not a fan. So, but I'm not crazy. So I do think we'll get some form of a gameplay trailer. Now, when it comes to other PlayStation titles, we're never going to get this, but I feel as a disciple of Max, and a lot of fighting game stuff, and that community, I feel obligated that Bloodborne 2 is an obligation to put on here. It's never gonna happen, but I feel obligated for this to be on here. I just feel like you have to put this on here. Now, another not gonna happen, Marvel versus Capcom, MVC. Another MVC, either you introduce MVC3 with rollback, an upgraded version of MVC3, a new announcement of MVC. It's never gonna happen, but it's worth putting on this list because you never know. Okay, now those I feel like are like the impossible, just as much as a Xenogears remaster, port, or whatever is impossible. I feel like a new MVC is impossible. Even more so, a Bloodborne 2 or Bloodborne 60 frames HD, whatever, Bloodborne anything, I feel like is impossible right now. Because I'm sure they focus on Dust Bloods. They only want to focus on that, stuff like that. On the direct, I had put Kiwami. Kiwami 3 has released. Not to great reviews. Kiwami, Yakuza 3 has always been really hated, and I understand, even though that was my very first Yakuza game. So I didn't think that Kiwami 3 was going to do well, but from my understanding, the Kiwami 3 release has been terrible. This, like, so many things are wrong with it. They took out a lot of side stories. It's a weird choice. I don't know what's going on at that studio right now, but maybe we'll get Yakuza 8, 9. I don't even know what they're on right now. I never beat 6, and I never beat 7. So we'll see. But if we're in the Sega life, we're gonna go into Sega Atlas, the love of Sega and Atlas. Persona 4 remake. We were teased a couple times. Yuri Lowenthal fucking basically leaked that it was gonna happen. We got a very weird teaser trailer for Persona 4 teaser. Let's see. At the Xbox game showcase. Dude, how long ago was this? It said 8 months ago. Persona 4 revival. Like, it's been so long now, almost a full year, that we've gotten anything from this. there's a possible chance. This was a PS2 game. Golden was a Vita game exclusively, and then because of, we know, Persona 5 success and they're doing everything, that we're getting now Revival. This is like a nothing trailer because it just shows you walking around. But we'll see if we end up getting anything whatsoever from Sega Atlas about this. Hopefully we get something, right? Now, the next thing I do want to say when it comes to Sega, because we might get a Virtual Fighter 6 trailer, right? Virtual Fighter 6 is the fighting game that they're good at. Tekken's taking a lot from this. We're supposed to be getting anything. This is the combat gameplay first look. This game looks crazy. The way that they're starting to show like zooms and camera angles is insane. Hopefully we get more from Virtual Fighter. But you know, we never know. These are not my kind of fighting games. I'm very 2D heavy with my fighting games. But I've been thinking about dipping my toe in this. Maybe VF, maybe Tekken. Let me know what you think. So let's add VF6 to the list. Now we were next on the list. We were supposed to get like Jet Set Radio remake. What did they say? This is like the power. They call it the Power Surge. This was 2 years ago. Okay, so 2 years ago they teased a bunch. Like they're starting to do the Sega promo, which is we're gonna bring back Sega. Well, we know as gamers that Sega has been doing well, and Atlas has been doing well. Persona is a big thing. Yakuza is a big thing. But for this, and then Sonic Frontiers did well. We know that Sega is a powerhouse when it comes to putting out IP. They have great IP. Sega has such great IP that they are starting to become more aware of it, and they did this campaign called Power Surge, or they put this video out where we're gonna get a new Jet Set Radio, either a remake, Shinobi, Streets of Rage, what was the other one? Golden Axe. So in this trailer they had shown, let's see, because this is a long trailer of like nothingness here. Before I continue with this, the Shinobi 2D game was released and did really well, and people really like it. I'll give them that. You know, that's one out of these games I feel like has already come out. So there's the Jet Set Radio we're expecting. It's like a remake, or it's either a remake or a new one. It looks cool. The new Streets of Rage we know nothing about. It looks great. This game came out fantastic. It did well. So I'm hoping there's going to be something more. The new Golden Axe looks interesting. Not as cool. Crazy Taxi is a big one. People really love Crazy Taxi, and a brand new Crazy Taxi will go crazy these days. I'm not gonna lie. And they say and more, so we never know. A new Super Monkey Ball, new Power Stone, maybe we'll get a Power Stone game. Who knows? So let's start throwing some of this. So we're looking for a Jet Set Radio, or Jet Set Radio, or maybe we're getting or probably even ports of Jet Set Radio Future, Jet Set Radio. These are games that are like classics. Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi is a big one. And Streets of Rage. I feel like these are, well, let's not put Streets of Rage. I feel like these are enough. These two are enough. But should we throw Sonic? Sonic Frontiers came out like 2020, right? Or 2021? Sonic Frontier. Sonic Frontier was released 2022, so it's been 4 years now. So we'll throw in new Sonic game. New Sonic game. And that will complete our little Sega love. Now, this is important to me. This is important to me. And it sounds ridiculous, but we honestly need DLC for Secret of the Mimic. The Five Nights at Freddy's game that came out about a year ago, honestly, right? Like, did FNAF come out a year ago? When's the release date? Almost a year ago. It's 4 months from a year. Okay. 8 months ago. Yes. FNAF Secret of the Mimic. I love FNAF. I really, chat. I know you don't know. You don't know me. This is my first time. I'm new here. I'm a huge FNAF fan. I love the lore. But the first half of the FNAF games, pre-Security Breach, I only watch. I can't, those type of games I'm not either good at or it's not for me. I try, it doesn't work out, it's whatever, right? And I got no problem with it. Chat. Got no problem with it. What I would say is that regardless if I have problems or anything with it, that FNAF from Security Breach to its DLC Ruin to Help Wanted 2, like the new era, including this Secret of the Mimic, I love, and it's really fun, and I know a lot about the lore, and I'm like constantly learning, watching videos, subscribe to a bunch of FNAF creators. So by this time we should have gotten, and I think they were holding out until State of Play. I feel like we're gonna get Secret of the Mimic DLC, and maybe it'll be Fall Fest. Maybe we get to play from the perspective of what happened at Fall Fest. Maybe we'll get to see, maybe it is a very Ruin, like how Ruin was to Security Breach. Maybe we have some version of we come back to Murray's Costume Factory. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna end up getting? But this game should be getting DLC, because a new FNAF game is kind of, I feel like it's too close. We're maybe next year we get a brand new FNAF game that's not like mainline, and I say mainline very lightly. I mean like huge console release, whatever. So for sure, I think that we're getting a Secret of the Mimic DLC. So we're gonna add that FNAF DLC. Okay. Now, what other games can we really expect on here? Kind of some not throwaways, but if we're gonna try to be good about predicting, and we're gonna try to see if we understand games media in the way that we claim to understand, or in the way that I claim that I understand, what possible games would they try to promote now? Especially summertime. This is when video games kind of die down a bit. Will we see, let's see, something from like Ubisoft? We haven't seen a new Assassin's Creed in a minute, right? Like, it's been a while since we've had what was the last Assassin's Creed? Wasn't the last one Valhalla? No, Shadows. Oh, right, the Japanese one. This came out last year. Oh yeah, I didn't even fucking play this shit. Would we get a trailer? I mean, if Mirage came out in 2023, right? Shadows came out 2025. We're in 2026. Let's just give it a random shot in the dark. We're getting Assassin's Creed teaser, new teaser, or DLC. I don't think it's possible. Maybe it's too early. That game came out when did it say it came out? Okay, March of last year. That's a full year. That's almost a full year. And when did Mirage come out? October All right. Well, let's say that. I feel like that's kind of safe. Let me just get to it. I feel like that's kind of safe. A new Assassin's Creed, anything like that, very possible. Very possible. Let's see. Maybe we get some. I know I don't want to do sports related stuff. The only sports related stuff that I care about that we might end up seeing is that new NBA Streets game. What's it called? New NBA Streets. NBA The Run. Yeah. NBA The Run. Wait, is that the new one? Yeah. Okay. NBA The Run. Did it have a release date? No, it just has a wish list on here. And a teaser trailer. Coming 2026 on everything except the Switch so far, right? I mean, it doesn't look bad. Honestly, this art style, I like it. It works well for basketball. There's recognizable people. I kind of like the, let's say I got to give some respect to basketball right now because they pay a lot of respect to fighting games with like a lot of the promo. So we're going to try to see NBA The Run release date. Ooh, I cannot spell release date. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. All right. Now, let's move on. Capcom. Now, I touched on one Capcom thing, which is MVC. I don't feel like that counts. I feel like that's a Marvel thing, right? We just got on the Marvel side, we just got a lot of stuff for like a crossover with Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Not gameplay, motherfucker. I just played this game. Not even just played this game. Invasion. There is something that just came out for it, like new skins, right? New skins. There you go. The Cosmic Collapse. So they just released a bunch of crossover hero palettes for Cosmic Invasion. So this is its own thing. Marvel Rivals in 2 days is getting their Elsa Bloodstone in season 6.5 patch. I play a lot of Marvel Rivals. That game is for me, and we're not getting any. They have their own avenue of stuff that it doesn't even warrant really putting in a state of play because the turnaround is so fast. It's almost like pointless to even put like Overwatch things and like state of play and stuff like that. So it's pointless. But so a lot of the Marvel stuff, I feel like it has its own avenue of exploration. So that's why I just put it there real quick. So on the opposite side, on the Capcom side, there has been rumors. There's been a couple of rumors going around, a couple rumors circulating, right? So what are these rumors? The rumors is that we're getting DMC 6. Now, DMC 5 did so well. Oh my god, why did it do that? DMC 5 was released 6 years ago, and it did so well. They really liked it. It was received well. Capcom said this is the best-selling. I think they said that this is the best-selling Devil May Cry in the franchise so far. It looks beautiful. It was good. It has a great story. I definitely feel like we're getting DMC 6. And if we're getting DMC 6, will we follow more Dante? Will we follow more Virgil? Will we follow more Nero? Because 4 was definitely Nero's beginning. 5 feels like we're finally getting a lot of results from what we known about DMC 4, about Nero's being Virgil's son, and the great moments of DMC 5 when it came to showing Virgil. And is this how the series is going to be going forward? Is it about Dante, Virgil, and Nero going forward? How are they going to do this? How are they going to show it? I know the DLC for DMC 5 was very focused on Virgil, so who knows what they decide to be the main focus point. I hope they still stick with Dante. never stray away from Dante. Dante is way too cool of a character. So it's crazy. The final trailer teases Virgil, and it's kind of like, you know, whatever. Also, the RE engine is insane that it's still doing this well, but you know, who knows? So DMC 6 is a possibility here. DMC 6 is a possibility here. Monster Hunter Wilds. We are supposed, they just had a February 2026 update showing off all the Arch Tempered. What are they gonna do? The crossover with Monster Hunter Stories 3, which was announced, which I also got right, that we were getting the release date for Monster Hunter 3 Stories on the Direct. So we're getting the crossover with them. This was just shown yesterday. Arch Temper Arkveld is going to be one of the big monsters to fight. So who knows? Who knows what we're getting here? Who knows what's the possibility? Maybe we'll get, I don't know. If they show anything Monster Hunter Wilds, it's maybe a Final Fantasy, another Final Fantasy collab, maybe a collab skin. Maybe they'll just throw in, hey, by the way, we're doing a Sony collab skin. We're gonna fucking put Cloud in the game or some shit, right? Because look, they have all these Festival of Accords. You can get all the previous rewards, anything that you missed before, new event quest. You know, on Wednesdays the update. You know what? I actually don't feel comfortable putting this on the bingo. They gave their own update yesterday. But I will say Final Fantasy 7 Part 3. Rebirth was just announced for Switch to, like, well, it you know, it was shown in the partner showcase last week. It's coming June 3rd. On top of the fact that it's coming June 3rd, it's going to be across the board when it gets released. And I think maybe they already did it, the update for the other versions on like Steam and PlayStation, where you could do essentially press L3 and R3 or go to the options, and your characters are maxed from beginning to end. Everything's one hit KO, and so you experience the story better, no random encounters type thing, you know. So they've updated it for like the PlayStation version. The Switch version is going to launch with it. And this is all to tease the fact that we're getting Part 3's name, and we're getting Part 3's teaser tomorrow. I feel like that's what the marketing has been setting up for. I'm not alone in this thought. I feel like everybody else feels this way. So it's not that ridiculous to think that Final Fantasy is like, we're finally going to have the end of this trilogy, and expect this game to be released next year, maybe, hopefully next year. Listen, I want more Vincent. I want to play as Vincent. Vincent's my favorite Final Fantasy character. I just want to play. I just want to play as him. Okay. I know that was off from Capcom, but it was, you know, it's Final Fantasy. Let's see. We showed that what could we say? Tactics did well. Would we get? Let's just throw some craziness. Let's throw some craziness here. All right. Tactics. This is not happening. Whoa! What might happen though? The last of the Nvidia leaks. Now, what happened a couple years? If you don't know, if you don't know, Nvidia leaks. Games. There was leaks for GeForce Now Nvidia, right? A bunch of games that had gotten leaked a couple years ago at this point, right? And it was to prepare for the new Nvidia something or other, like their program or their graphics card or whatever. So a lot of this, like, for example, you see right here, Chrono Cross Remaster, which we like, we had gotten, right? Like, did the Chrono Cross Remaster come out already, or was it teased already? Yeah, it came out already. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. It's on sale for $8, bro. The sale ends in 8 hours. Ah, hilarious enough. Let me look up the reviews. Maybe if it was $8. Okay, this, they said it's all right. Okay, never mind. Maybe I should really play Chrono Trigger first before. Some of the stuff has already been announced, has been shown, Tomb Raider. Okay. The Capcom stuff. GTA. Oh, that's a good one. Actually, GTA 6. Maybe GTA 6. That game is supposed to be out by November. So, am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy to think we get some GTA 6. BioShock. Let's be real here. There's a lot of bullshit on here that I don't think makes a lot of sense. Because these are leaks. These leaks are like, they're either yes and no. So let us go with what I had in mind when I was talking about tactics. One of the leaks, and it's probably the one people are excited for, Final Fantasy IX. Oh, first of all, let's fix this. Let's not be stupid. Let's be adults about this here. Hello? Remake. We are supposed to, allegedly, to a lot of these leaks, which you have seen me just scroll, and a lot of these have come true. We didn't think that the Tactics one was possible. Tactics is, like I said, Tactics is my second favorite JRPG of all time, right behind Lost Odyssey. And it's not even really a JRPG, it's a strategy RPG, but it's still close. So I love it. It's my favorite Final Fantasy for sure of all time. But the next one that I've always told myself I'm actually going to play this all the way through is a Final Fantasy IX remake. Now, I'm adding a caveat to this one. If the Final Fantasy IX remake is real and is announced tomorrow, whether or not it shadow drops or anything like that, doesn't matter, because I don't think that would be a crazy thing to do. If Final Fantasy Remake shows up in the trailer in any way whatsoever in a state of play tomorrow, I will play Final Fantasy IX on stream. I will play it on stream. I will beat it. I will try my very best to do the thing that I don't love doing. And that is, usually with a lot of these Final Fantasy games, I want to platinum it. 9, you almost have to play it pure off rip before you platinum it, because to platinum it, you have to get a very specific weapon, and you have to know the game enough to be able to speed run essentially to the last part of the game to get that weapon, and that's the trophy, right? So instead of doing all that, I'm going to play it pure. Okay. So if there's a Final Fantasy IX remake announced tomorrow, I will play Final Fantasy IX on stream. Okay. What other things can we say is a possibility? The possibility. Strive 2.0. 2.0. Right? Okay. We're supposed to get Strive 2.0 is 6 months. 6 months ago they announced that we're getting a 2.0 version of Guilty Gear Strive. Usually with these Guilty Gear games, they have the next edition. So it's basically the same game. They would add some crazy name to it. If you're like, similarly to like Street Fighter being like Super Street Fighter or the Ultra Edition or whatever, where it's like a new season or a new update. Guilty Gear does something very similar. And 6 months ago, they announced a future update, a huge update trailer, and they're calling it like Guilty Gear 2.0 or whatever, or Strive 2.0. So we should be getting a trailer for this tomorrow. It makes a lot of sense to show it during the state of play. I feel like this is almost a very fighting game heavy state of play that we should be expecting. we're probably gonna get back to back either this and Tokan them showing it. Who knows? But I think it makes a lot of sense. It's Arc System Works, you know. Did I put Dragon Ball FighterZ? No, I did not put Dragon Ball FighterZ. So there's supposed to be another update also for Dragon Ball FighterZ, because we're getting they're continuing the Super anime, so we're gonna see. They had said that they're gonna add somebody from Daima. I think, was it the young Goku from Daima? Let me see. Let me not say bullshit and not have it like DFZ Daima. Yeah. This was announced Evo France, which is more stuff is coming. What is this bullshit? Was that the very end? Yeah, there you go. There's supposed to be a big update for Dragon Ball FighterZ. This showdown shit is like a completely separate thing. This is like a qualifier or a tournament. But spring of this year, we're supposed to get a really big update for Dragon Ball FighterZ. If you don't play fighting games, Dragon Ball FighterZ is probably one of the best fighting games we've had in a very long time. So they're doing a huge balance adjustment update. They're changing how reflex and parrying works. They're changing how dashes work. Look at this. Every character gets updated. I haven't played this game in so long, and every time there's a big update, I try and I just can't get back into it. So that half of the update is already been out, I believe, where they really changed things. But the biggest thing that they're supposed to be coming soon, spring of 2026, is the reveal of this guy, or the release of this guy, actually. It is Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's possible. So DBFZ update. So we got 4 more spots. 4 more spots before we get into play Paranormasight for the first time. What else could we expect? What could we expect from any of these developers today? I feel like it's too early. God damn, High Guard Studio hit with layoffs weeks after launch is crazy. There's been a lot of layoffs. There was one for 2XKO. Mugenics is doing well. I think I'm trying to remember this very specific thing, and I can't seem to bring it back to my head. Maybe the new Control. Did that trailer come out already for the new Control game? Like we just got that trailer, right? For Control Resonant. Control Resonant. Yeah, we got a trailer for this. So we don't really need to go and put this on the list. We're getting this. It doesn't make sense. I love Control. Control is also one of my favorite games of all time. Let's see. PlayStation Halo Remake. So Halo Combat Evolved is getting a remake, and it's called Halo Campaign Evolved, and it's supposed to be releasing on PS5. It's a complete remake of the original. They are changing from the original is that they are doing co-op, split screen co-op and 4-player online co-op with full crossplay and cross progression. And if you don't know, the original Halo did not have split screen co-op. I think that was debuted in Halo 2, and it was a really big deal. And the online was a really big deal. So it's possible that Halo PS5 might be shown. If not, that's a Summer Games Fest. If Halo PS5 doesn't get shown tomorrow, it's gonna be a Summer Game Fest. It just only makes sense, right? Let's see. I know there was a PlayStation blog announcement, or let's see, PlayStation blog. Oh, this is their. This is them saying about their state of play. Romeo Must Die just came out. You know what we haven't seen? Let's throw this out there. You know what we haven't seen in forever? The Dragon Quest 12. This game was teased 4 years ago. Dragon Quest 11 did so well and got a lot of people into Dragon Quest. Shit, the Luminary ended up in Smash Brothers by the end, which is crazy because as a Smash Brothers fan, getting any representation from anything else is awesome. But adding the Luminary, like such a cool character, such a great character to Smash Brothers is so great. Even the different skins were like Erdrick and all the other guys. I think it's really cool. I think with Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined being released, I am surprised that we are not getting any news whatsoever for Dragon Quest 12. So I feel like after 4 years, we might get something for DQ12. Am I crazy? Move this man! What's the matter? You don't like Dragon Quest 12? Listen, Dragon Quest is a goated RPG series. It should be loved. It should be appreciated. If I want to keep talking RPGs, we could say a new Tales game. I'm not that fan of the Tales game. Not that big of a fan of the Tales game. I'm throwing one of my random shits out there. Since we're playing a visual novel game today, can we get a part 3 of AI? The Somnium Files? Can we get a part 3? Can we get a part 3? We got No Sleep for Kaname Date on the Switch too. Maybe they finally ported it over to the PlayStation. But I want a new one. The Nirvana initiative was insane. The Nirvana initiative was crazy. The first Somnium Files is one of the most insane games I've ever played on like mind-breaking bullshit. The Nirvana initiative wasn't as good, but it was a great game. And it was fun. And I want to platinum it. So I have to play through it again. I haven't played No Sleep for Kaname Date, but we know what we should have is a new Somnium Files. It's hard to tell because that team has moved on to make 100 Line Academy. Maybe 100 Line Academy ends up showing up on PlayStation because I think it's only on Steam right now and Switch. Maybe ports of this. I'm thinking about any other visual novel games that I like. For all the Phoenix Wright games are done. They're out. They're released. Even the Great Ace Attorney, which I just beat the first one, was fun, and I'm starting the second one. I did the first case of the second one. So who knows? It's possible that we're getting something. I honestly don't even know. Romeo's a Dead Man just released. MLB The Show. Don't care about baseball. Something cool. What would be something cool? Or maybe something cool that's not. Something cool that's not likely. That's not AAA. Not. Yo, you know what? There's a lot of shit on this list. There's a lot of shit on this list that's not happening, or I'm just fucking throwing buckets. All air balls. I don't think it's happening. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something really cool. This might be my psychic prediction. Will I get this right, or will I get this wrong? I think The Wolf Among Us comes back. I think The Wolf Among Us comes back. Am I crazy to think so, chat? Possibly. There's probably half of this list is never gonna happen. But The Wolf Among Us, if it happens, I'm gonna be so. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy. But I feel like it's possible. I feel like we'll finally get this. It's not like those games. Like, look, how do I explain this? Dispatch blew the fuck up, right? Everyone played Dispatch. You got Moist Critical playing it, who's also in it. Markiplier, the way they handled episodes felt like old school Telltale. It was very fun to watch and to play. And the cast, the story, so much of it was so interesting. I think it's not that crazy. I don't think it's crazy to bring back The Wolf Among Us. We're supposed to get season 2. Maybe they're like, yo, we're gonna call it The Wolf Among Us. And what you played back in the day 10 years ago is a prologue. Let's call it the prologue or some shit. Let's call it like the before years. And now we're playing the real The Wolf Among Us. This is how it's supposed to be. Or this is like the full story. Who knows? You know? But I don't think it's crazy to think that The Wolf Among Us is coming, baby. Give me the wolf. I need the wolf. Okay? So, those are my predictions for the PlayStation State of Play tomorrow. If you're watching this on YouTube, this should be uploaded either in the middle of the night tonight or early to this morning. And my reaction to this will be here. If you're watching this before the State of Play comes out, you can see my reaction on this channel at that same time, live react to it. If you're watching this afterwards on the YouTube channel, you can see my reaction to my bingo list, and everything will also be uploaded that same day or later that night. But if you like it, please like, subscribe, do everything that you can, share with your friend.